Today's episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, Jewelry Forever at jewelryforever.ca, and Beautified by Romina. Enjoy the show.
Broadcasting live from Glenmore Record Studios in Toronto, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, your Sunday morning talk show with interesting guests, live musical performances, and the most fun you can fit in your coffee cup. Hosted by Scott Dion Brown and Regine Alaina, this is The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome all of you to episode 268 of The Sit Down. Is your mic on? It feels very quiet.
Very quiet.
Although maybe we just turn these things down too much.
Hello.
Because I can see we got pretty high levels on the thingy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Episode 268 of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. I am your host, the one, the only Scott Dion Brown. And I'm joined by the greatest co-host in all of the galaxy, the one, the only,
Regine Alaina. Happy Sunday, everyone. It's so weird. We have not been on air in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we were trying to think about it
3 weeks? The last episode was my birthday.
Your birthday episode.
What?
Yeah, we missed 2 Sundays.
So it's 3 weeks.
And is that I don't think we've ever taken that much time off before.
Not on purpose.
Yeah, it kind of just, it just kind of ended up being that way because
You were busy.
well, then, yeah, suddenly it was Mother's Day, and I don't know.
We just felt like spending time with our moms this year. Normally we don't.
That's true. Usually we're like, whatever.
Normally it'd be like, okay, on the long weekend, we'll skip. But we came back on the long weekend. So happy Victoria Day long weekend, everyone.
Happy May 2-4, although it's not May 2-4 because it's on like the 20th, 21st, right?
Today, the 19th?
19th, yeah.
20th.
But happy May 2 for everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I hope you go to the, maybe some of you go to the cottage. Maybe you're going to take in some fireworks. Maybe you're going to have some brewskis.
Maybe. Get some sunshine. It's really nice in Toronto.
Yeah. Although, the sun came out. When I was driving up here, it was really foggy.
It was hot yesterday.
And it was hot yesterday. I mean, I'm glad. You know what's nice?
What?
This week was the first week I was able to go outside. And it was like nighttime, and I didn't have my jacket on. Like we were at that point where it's like it's hot during the day, and then suddenly it's so cold at night. I was actually able to wear the same clothes all day.
You know, it was weird not seeing you in your winter jacket.
See? Yeah, exactly. I picked you up. I was just wearing a sweater.
It's like, whoa.
Boom. Let's bring in our guest.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do.
Big news, I guess.
Big news.
I don't know. I didn't have any news. Just lots of stuff to talk about.
I'm like, are you trying to tell us something, Scott?
Big news, everybody. Our guest today is a fantastic singer, songwriter,
musician.
Yeah.
She's in a band.
She's in a band. Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is, if she's a singer, like that includes musician in the title. A teacher of musicianship.
Yeah.
Completely different skill set, really. Let's bring
bring
her
her
in. Everybody, please welcome RAQUEL. Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hello,
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
Hey,
It's
welcome.
nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
We've been sitting here for like the past hour, and I'm like, we just met.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Nice to meet
It's
you.
been a good time. Likewise. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And how are you? How are you on this? How's your day going?
I'm good. It's kind of just started because me and mornings we don't mix very well.
Fair enough.
But I'm good. I'm getting awake now.
I love that. I think all three of us are not morning people.
Yeah, I actually this past week I've had to get up early the last few days. Oh, actually, you know what happened this morning?
What?
So last night I set my alarm for 9 a.m. So that I could get up at 9, leave by 9:30, pick you up, be here by 10, be ready for you to arrive at 10:15, and we will sound check. And I woke up this morning on my own naturally, and I like grabbed my phone, and my phone was off.
Oh, shoot.
It was off. Yeah. So for some reason, I don't know why, my phone shut off in the night.
Do you not charge it?
No, it was plugged in. And that's what I wanted. I was, maybe did the charger come unplugged or something? So maybe it died in the night, but no, it was like fully charged. It was just completely off. And so I had this moment. I'm like, what time is it? Like, I thought, I was scared. Like, I'm like, what if it's 11 o'clock right now or noon? Yeah. So I turned on my phone. I was like, I'm laying there being like, part of me almost jumped out of bed right away, but I thought, no, there's no reason to panic yet. Just let it turn on.
What time was
it? It was 7:30.
Oh.
Don't you love that though? When you like wake up significantly before your alarm?
Yes.
And you're like, yes.
There's
you can go
nothing
back
worse
to
than
sleep.
waking up and you're late.
Yes. But I like.
No, like when you wake up just before the alarm. Like if it's
That's
like
happened a few
5 to
times.
10 minutes, that's worse than being late.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, should I just get up?
Yeah.
Like, I guess I should just get up.
No, I'm that person like, I'm going to go back to bed.
But then I find so like when you have an hour, it's like, oh, nice, I can go back to sleep. I got a nice cozy hour. When you have 10 minutes, you're like, if you fall asleep, which sometimes you can, like if you just wake up.
I do that.
But then I find when the alarm goes off in the next 10, 15 minutes, it's like, I feel way more tired.
Yeah, for sure.
See, I'm the type of person that has like 4 alarms that go off before I actually have to get out of bed.
So you like to, you snooze.
I'm a snoozer.
I'm usually a snoozer, but I have to avoid.
No.
I can't do it. That
Well-
doesn't work for me because I'll just get more and more tired with each one, and I'm more and more upset to like wake up. I don't want to do it. I'm just like, first one, it's like, well, here we are. I can't wake up any later than this.
But it's
have to
scary
do
because like my alarm goes off at like 7:45, the first alarm, and then it's 30-minute increments. And then finally I'm like, I should really get out of bed. And I gotta see what time I roll out of bed for a 9 a.m. shift. But the joys of working from home.
That's true. Yeah. The worst for me is if it's something that like maybe I have a lot of things I want to get done tomorrow, but there's nothing that has to be done at a certain time. So like for the sit down, for example, I know we got to go live at 11. Blah, blah, blah. But let's say like I have a long list, and so like say it's Friday night and Saturday. I'm like, these are all the things I'm going to do on Saturday, right? So like I'll set my alarm for like, all right, I'm getting up at 9, and I'm going to be so productive. And then what usually will happen is like the alarm will go off at 9. And suddenly, like you wake up to the alarm, and then you're like, do I have to do that today? I'll just snooze for a minute, and then like so you're kind of justifying to yourself in bed, like that's not, maybe we can get to that a little bit later,
Yeah.
And so that's when I'm the worst for that. Then I can
Saturday.
snooze or turn it off, and yeah, it depends. But anyways, luckily it was 7:30, so I didn't have to worry about any of that.
You got to
I
sleep
love
for an
that.
hour and a half.
Yeah. Here we are. We met at the Unionville Festival last year.
Did.
Did.
That was a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was a whole year.
Yeah.
I remember I met you, and then I was like, "Oh, I do this podcast. You should come on." And then, well, it took a while to make it
I know.
happen.
I'm
Only a
so
year.
Sorry. Like I'm grateful for how like busy I've been.
Yeah.
But like it's been every time you're like, "Are you free this weekend?" No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's not a gig, it's teaching or vocal producing or writing or.
But that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's good.
I'm grateful for sure, but I think I was home for the first time in well over a month on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's good to be busy.
It is, yeah.
Booked and busy.
Yeah.
It is.
So we'll talk about a bunch of things. What I want to ask you about first is the teaching side, because you told me you teach singing.
I do.
And stuff.
At School of Rock Markham.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What is it like? Because obviously I've walked by those things. And obviously
I know the movie.
I know the movie. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So what is it like working at that spot? Is it anything like the movie?
Are
What
you
do
like
what is
Jack
it?
Black?
I am Jack Black,
Wow.
actually. No. So actually the movie was based on the school originally.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
a whole franchise.
Got it.
Oh,
So
I assume that the franchise was inspired by the movie.
no, I think it was like the writer walked into the the original School of Rock and was like, this is hilarious. I'm going to make a movie out of it. Obviously, no illegal substitute teachers with no background checks.
course.
What's happening?
Yes.
We all do a police check before we work with children.
As you should.
Fair enough.
As you should. Yeah, obviously all of that stuff was the the movie magic fantasy kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's very casual. A lot of like misfit kids, in like the best way, you know, like they're like, I don't know, how many kids do you know are like listening to Radiohead these days, and or like, you know, Neil Young, or like really into Springsteen. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's a place where like kind of every kid can just do their thing and like enjoy music that maybe other people aren't super into or don't get to talk about these days, and then they get to perform that music, and as a band too. So there's like your private lessons, and then there's a band program.
Oh, cool.
So I direct both. I direct a band, and I do the private lessons as well.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
interesting.
find? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you go.
And so, from your private lessons, are you able to mesh people, like pair people together based off of what you do with them privately to create a band, or is it like two separate entities?
It's kind of two separate things. So it's like within the school, there's like keyboards, guitar, bass, and drums and vocals. And you take private lessons based on what instrument you're most into, just like every other place. And then you'll have a handful of kids that do each instrument in a band together. And they'll sign up to the band that they're interested in. So it's like, I want to say like 12 right now.
Wow.
Some of them are like for younger kids, so that it's not like a bunch of 17-year-old kids that have been there for years with a bunch of like 10-year-olds that are just starting out. But like, and it'll be like artist or band dependent or genre dependent. So like right now I'm running a neo soul show, and my partner Dean is running Prince
Cool.
right now. So things like that. Yeah.
I see. So,
Awesome.
you kind of hinted at, so like, you know, Radiohead and that type of music. Is it? How do you decide where? What artists are the students coming in and kind of telling you what they want to learn, or does the school sort of have a focus that?
Program.
Yeah, like how does it work?
We have an MD who decides he gets like kind of the final say of like what shows will happen. There's like a certain kind of like curriculum that you have to hit. Like you have to be able to hit these kinds of genres at least once a year kind of thing. But he'll definitely take suggestions from teachers and students. Like if a student isn't like suggesting something ridiculous, like just 1,000 miles for one whole show, then like they'll take that
great,
step
though.
into just
For renditions, yeah.
over and over again for an hour. Yeah, who wouldn't want that? But yeah, like they'll take those kinds of things into consideration because they want the kids to be excited about the music that they're playing. It's not just like, no, you have to play this music. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've walked past those places, and I'm always like, oh, that's
never
so
seen
neat.
one.
Really? I've walked by them a few times. There's
A lot of fun.
yeah. Is there how many? Okay, because
How many
I've
locations are there?
I don't even know if you'd know, but
Most of them are in the States. I know it's like worldwide. 'Cause I think there's some in Brazil or something too.
Cool.
But I know like in the GTA-ish area, I believe there's 2. So there's Markham where I work. And then I think Streetsville just opened up, which is like Mississauga.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
cool.
Streetsville's a good place to have one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was walking in Vancouver. I walked by one as well. There's one there.
We're very excited about it. We're excited that there's another one because like, not like in a bad way, but like, you know, kids get like competitive.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
like not in a showing each other up kind of way, but it's like you see those kids doing really well and you want to do really well. And
Yeah.
like, it's really cool to see that kind of interaction. And
Yeah, it brings out the they want to push themselves to another level that like
Exactly.
motivates them.
yeah.
Awesome.
Instead of just me yelling at them for 45 minutes.
So come
in a
on.
row. Yeah.
Now you're like, you see those kids?
So when did you realize that, because obviously you're a singer yourself, but teaching is a completely different sort of skill set. But when did you realize, one, that maybe that was something you wanted to do, and realize
you
that
fall
was
into
something
it?
that you were able to do as well? Yeah.
So I started there actually when I was like 9 years ago, when I was 20. And it was just because like I needed work.
Sure.
And while being a singer is just so lucrative,
unlimited
sure.
funds, really.
Unlimited
Yeah.
funds. I'm just rolling in cash.
Yeah.
I was like, well, my skill sets are pretty singular. And they needed a vocal teacher. And for some reason, they hired me with no actual training. Or no, I had like training in singing, but
Yeah.
as far as like credentials to teach,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have any. I was just like gigging around. They're like, it's good enough for us. And then they kept me for the past 9 years. And
Awesome.
Nice.
I do love it so much. I've like grown into the role as a teacher. I find I take like, I don't know, I try to take like a very kind of scientific approach to the voice, because I had a lot of teachers who were like so like stunningly talented and like their ability is insane. But then they'd be like, you just have to like feel it. Like it's like taking this color and this color. And I was like, I don't have colors in my throat. Can you just
Yeah.
tell me
Blue.
what to do? Blue, yeah. Can you just like tell me what it is to do mechanically?
Yeah.
So I find that like that kind of approach helped, and I try to bring that to kids. So it's just like when you're feeling your diaphragm, it's not just like some arbitrary muscle. It's like here, if like you do a little fake cough, then you can feel it tighten. And you like, I do these breathing exercises that are visual, like place a book on your stomach so then you can see it moving up and down, and like watching your shoulders and like what actually is your larynx and how does that relate to everything, and why do you not want to tighten your throat? It's because your larynx has to be free to move to hit every note, that kind of thing.
Makes
so
sense.
yeah.
Because I used to do vocal lessons, and everything you said, I was like, you brought me back to like high school Regine, where I'm like, oh, that makes more sense than what my teachers are saying.
Yeah. That was really frustrating for me as like, as somebody who is like, I appreciate that that's how you feel,
Yeah.
but I can't relate to that, and I need to like understand what's happening here.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of my approach, and I think that works for my kids. I do love my kids. They're all pretty super cool.
That's awesome. I love that you've been able to take things that work for you and make it work for them.
Yeah.
Because like I coach as well, but not singing. Oh my God, I could never. But it's something that I've taken, because I don't have the credentials either, but it's taking what I've learned from other coaches and experiences and taking what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
And every kid is different.
Exactly.
Everyone's learning style is different. So I think it's great that you're able to adapt, because
Yeah.
I, as a wannabe singer once upon a time, did not get that.
Oh my God, I'll teach you. You're so good.
I said once upon a time.
Like I've since gotten my I have a degree in jazz. Like I got my Bachelor of Music at Humber.
Awesome.
And so since starting when I was at the school, it's like I did my classical stuff and that's it. And that's not the vibe of School of Rock.
No.
And so they're like, yeah, we'll take a chance on you kind of thing. And then I got my degree at the same time. They were very sweet about letting me like max out my summer and then be like, okay, cutting back to just Saturdays because I have to go live in Etobicoke now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really grateful for the place. I could talk about it forever.
It's cool. It sounds like a cool place to work,
It
actually.
is. It is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
School of Rock, everybody. Not just a
just a movie.
not just a
Not
popular
just a movie,
film,
yeah.
but it's also. I did not know that the school came first, but that's interesting.
Yeah, that's like the thing we have to say every time. It's like, well, we came first. We came afterward. Yeah.
What came first, the
There you
movie
go.
or the school?
School of Rock, inspiring that great film, everybody.
There you go.
Check them out. Okay, well, now let's talk about your actual music. You're
You're gigging.
you got a show
Next
coming
week.
up?
That is so my originals and that next week gig are separate.
Love
So
that.
that's like a 90s hip hop R&B cover band that I'm in.
Oh, I love that.
They're called Wing Night the band.
Love it.
It's so fun.
You won me with just the genre.
It's just such a blast. I have like the best time with them. We're playing in London on Friday.
Awesome.
We just came back from Waterloo 2 weeks ago, and we did the Opera House in April.
Nice.
We've that's like I think the third time that we've done the Opera House. It's so fun there, and we did Danforth Music Hall back in November. It's a lot of fun. It's like a 10-piece band. It started with like 4 guys, and then they expanded, and asked me to join them as part of that expansion. I was like, heck yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a great time. We like the Waterloo gig we did with like do you guys remember Chaclair?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did that with Chaclair.
Like he was actually there?
Yeah. We
Oh,
did like
sweet.
3 songs with him. We did like Let's Ride. And,
That's sick.
yeah. It was a good time. Yeah, that's Wing Night, the band.
I love that.
Sweet. And where's the show? Can people get tickets or how's that?
Rum Runners, you can get tickets. I believe it's in the link in their bio on Instagram
Okay.
at Wing Night the band.
We should add that
We'll add that into the description down below.
after.
Wing Night the band. 90s hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, 90s, 2000s.
There's something about like anything nostalgic. Like if I am on TikTok or Instagram and I come across like, do you remember these songs? It just puts you in a vibe, in a mood, and you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
why is music not like this anymore?
I know. It was so peak, 2000s R&B.
100%. Like Sean Desmond is back making new music and
Yeah.
touring, and I was like, I want to go to his Toronto concert.
Is he putting out new music as well?
Uh-huh. And it puts you back in the same vibe that
For sure.
you were years ago.
I think I saw him pop up an ad and I was like, Sean Desmond. What? He's
Yeah.
Wow.
I love
Snoop,
it.
too, I
Yep.
think is also
He's coming
back
back.
out here.
Yep. He's touring.
Yeah.
TLC's touring. Ashanti's pregnant
Yeah.
with Nelly's baby. Oh, we're going back. We're going back in time.
Dang,
now.
yeah.
Is Nelly touring?
I'm pretty sure they're both doing gigs. I know she did a show with Ja Rule in the U.S. recently.
I think there's like a festival that's like all of them. It's like Nelly,
I thought it got
Kelly
canceled.
Rowland. Really?
Or it was like one of them that was supposed to happen in Vegas was like canceled because of
Dang.
the weather.
Oh.
But that would have been an epic show to go to.
Yeah.
I didn't think those-
peak nostalgia.
I didn't think those things got rained out. I thought people would just go in the rain.
Well, no, I think it was like winds
Oh,
in the
like
desert.
like dangerously.
Yeah.
I guess.
Winds in the desert.
That's
is
all
a
I gotta
little
say.
different
It's
than
like,
rain, yeah.
This is
Okay.
a sandstorm.
Yeah, I guess there's like a
Yeah.
line that can be crossed. It's like, oh no, it's not
Whipping.
safe.
Yeah, no.
And a big stage too, like maybe it could blow over and stuff probably.
Potentially.
Like if there was like a nostalgia Coachella vibe, I would go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been to Coachella.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I'm like scared.
I would go to Stagecoach before I go to Coachella, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Being in the like that type of festival, it doesn't appeal to me that much.
What if it was like all
Like artists that I really like, you mean?
like
Is that what you're gonna ask?
Rush and like
I mean, I guess there'd be a part of me that wants to, but like,
did I just age you again?
well, I mean, Rush is like was
You're just
old
baby.
even when I was a kid. Rush was
So
old
I mean like
already.
if like the Beatles came back.
I mean, yeah, I guess there are certain artists that I'm like, yeah, I'd want to, but like just that environment, I don't.
If it was a wrestling situation, you would totally be there. So what's the difference between WWE versus
Thing is, even that, it's like, okay, so okay, well,
like what about SmackDown and the
we'll pivot.
you would be
We'll
there.
pivot to wrestling, but the thing is, so even with the wrestling thing, so I've been getting into wrestling lately. I think I talked about it on the show a little bit, but I went to an event in Toronto a few months ago. A lot of fun, but it was like general admission, and it's like I was having fun, but I didn't like that I didn't have like a spot that was my spot. So it's like you always had to fight to get to your seat, and then if I want to go get a drink, there was this weird thing where one of my friends has to stay, and then I got to go get the drink, and then we got to try to sort of push our way back into where I was.
Right.
That whole part I didn't like, and that's why the second time we went back,
Yeah.
I saw that they were selling VIP tables, and I bought one for that reason, just because I wanted to have a chair.
And then you asked if I wanted to go, and I said I'm busy.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It was an awesome event. But anyway, point is, so maybe that's why the festival part kind of annoys me, is that it's that same thing where like I have to go find a spot. I got to get there
But
early.
what if you can purchase a VIP pass to be there and you're okay?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I would enjoy it more from like, okay, I want to go to a festival, but I want to be like,
bougie.
well, yeah, but it would be a matter of like, is it worth it to spend that type of money on it? I
Like
don't know.
I've gone to concerts at Molson Ample or Budweiser stage where we've gotten lawn seats or lawn tickets.
Yeah.
And you just stand in your spot and you hope that like your friends are all there and you all stay together. But there are times where you're at the, let's say you're here on the lawn, you somehow make your way down there. It's fine.
It would have to be like an artist that I really, really love for me to do that.
I saw Lauryn Hill and Nas.
Ooh.
In that way.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was like on time and everything.
Yeah. Have you heard
Notorious.
about
Yeah.
specific artists who are like 3 hours late for their show?
Madonna?
No, besides Madonna. We're trying not to put names out here,
Oh.
Scott.
Well, I thought Madonna's like notorious for that.
Well, yeah, but Madonna can because it's Madonna.
Right.
Oh, who else is notoriously late?
I won't say the name.
Oh, are they famous?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, now I actually. Oh, should we not actually say the name? Do you
Should we
think
say the names?
I mean, everybody knows.
Fair. Nicki Minaj was super late for her show.
Oh, whoa! I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's disrespectful to your fans.
I think so too.
Like, you're both artists who perform all the time. Like,
Yeah.
imagine if you on Friday
Okay,
showed
I
up,
get anxiety.
right?
Yep.
Like, and like, I bet you she was backstage too, just chilling.
Yeah.
There's no way she.
Or she was at her hotel still, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
How bad is traffic in Vancouver? Or no, it was in Montreal. In Montreal, not
yeah.
that bad.
I think like unless it's something like this is something you've established with your fans that like they know, okay, yeah, it says 7, but you know, I don't need to get there till this time, and like that's just what we do, and I want my fans to show up and like kind of party before I get there. I guess you can kind of build that, but otherwise, like if I say it's 8:00, I like the show to start at 8:01. That's how I am.
Well,
How
when
are
we
you-
MC, we're the same way.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it starts at 7. We're on. They're not ready. We're on.
Well, and again, maybe it's different if it's your own concert, let's say. But like, let's say like, you know, I'm playing in a show where there's multiple bands. In fact, I've been in a position where like, you know, I used to do shows at the Alma Combo where I was organizing the gig, and I was like ruthless with the time because I'm like, if a band decides they're going to try to play longer, like, one, I've already asked you, so you're already kind of being disrespectful to me,
Yeah.
but you're also being disrespectful to all the other artists, right? There are artists who are after you, right? And then their fans are there. So, yeah, that bugs me. That bugs me. Where do you land on this?
I think different situations are different. Like
Fair.
when we're doing like Unionville Festival and stuff like that, like you got to be on time. Like you have like
Yep.
specific,
You have a time slot.
you have a time
Yeah.
slot, and like there are people ahead of you and you know after you. Honestly, it's not fair to everybody else. Like, even though that's just like a walking thing. So, like, within your slot, I feel like you can be loosey goosey if you want to, because, like, it's not a standing audience. Like, people are walking up and down
Yep.
doing the festival things. And then with Wing Night, it's like, we're just a party band. Like, we're just music to facilitate the party. It's not like a show to be watched.
Yeah.
So, it's like we have, like, the DJ going beforehand. And so, like, we might be, like, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough. It's like sometimes you can feel the vibe. For example, like you're supposed to play at 9, but the people are still coming in.
Exactly.
We'll push it, push to 9:30, that kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. But even then, I think that's being done more to maximize the experience for the fans.
Right, yeah.
Right.
And like everybody can like grab their drinks and get their friends together, et cetera, et cetera. Because
Yeah.
like Opera House and stuff, it's like a standing.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yep.
Scott would hate it. There's no seats. You would
Oh,
have to
shoot.
like
It's just like,
shimmy your way back.
He'd have to
here.
be on stage in order to have a good time.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
you know what the thing is? You know what I will say though? I think the no seats thing, I think it's more in kind of like the festival type setting where it's like you're there all day type thing. Honestly though, like I've been to ones where, you know, you find a spot, you put your blanket on the floor and then you just kind of enjoy yourself.
I don't put my blanket on
But-
the floor. I stay standing.
Oh, well, I like we chill.
I
or
think it
whatever.
depends on the music.
Depends on the music, depends on the vibe.
Like if you went to a country concert, which is typically where I go, if you are sitting on the floor, everyone's blocking.
You'll
you.
get
You'll get stampede.
square
Yeah.
square danced over.
Exactly.
Do you go to Boots and Hearts?
I have not. I want to.
It's coming up. I heard an ad for it the other day.
I heard
I
good
want
things.
to.
My brother's been to that.
Has he?
Yeah.
I can see him doing that. I want to. I'd rather go to the stampede though.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out west. Yeah. I heard that gets crazy too.
I want to go. That's on my bucket list.
Calgary Stampede.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday, sit down live from the Calgary Stampede.
Ooh, that'd be so fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I will say like I went to see, was it Danforth Music Hall? I went and saw Chaos live that was just a couple years ago.
Sit on the floor.
I did. I took no, I stood, and it was so I didn't mind that. That was fine.
It's the vibe.
I think it depends. It just depends on the atmosphere.
Yeah.
100%. Like we went and watched Pentatonics, and there was no way you'd be standing and dancing around for them all night.
Yeah, not a lot of mosh pits or pentatonics.
No.
Imagine.
I mean, I'd be impressed to see
I would be
it.
too. I guess it depends on what they're singing, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be impressed too.
Yeah.
I
really
think it would
depends
be
on the
like
vibe.
the acapella Hallelujah that they do. That's when you would mosh
Yeah.
the hardest.
That gets them going.
Yeah,
They have to be
exactly.
careful where they sing that because things could just get really dangerous.
But
So
they
true.
sing it great live.
It's
And
gorgeous.
it's so good live.
I've never seen them live.
I've seen them twice. I like concerts. That's my thing.
I like concerts.
I would hope so. You're
You
a
like
musician.
performing at concerts.
Imagine if you hated seeing live music.
Imagine if I hated live music. I hated hearing it. I hated seeing everything about it. I just
The
kind of.
only time you enjoy it is when it's you.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be very, like, what's the word that I'm looking for?
Narcissist.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
I want to hear no one,
Scotty, you're trying to tell us something.
but they must hear me. Yeah, I just think, I don't know. You know what it is? I like to have it's nice to have you know what it is? It's just more comfortable. I know that I can show up when this time starts and and I know my seat's going to be here. I don't have to fight anybody to go get it to drink. I don't have to fight anybody to get back to my seat. I like that. Again, I'm willing to make the sacrifice if I really love the artist, I guess.
Yeah.
Then that's something else.
Yeah.
Like if,
You know.
but see, you are bougie though. Like you go and watch musicals, and you will spend
I like
the
musicals.
money to be
I
up
love a
close
musical.
and center.
And you know what I've really gotten into lately, last couple of years, is classical music. So
I
I've
thought
been
you were
going to
gonna
watch.
say rewatching the same music.
No, I've been going and watching the symphony a few times, and like candlelight concerts. You know, you ever been to those candlelight concerts?
No, I have friends who play them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So a lot of the time my friends are on stage for
That's
those, and
awesome.
like they'll tell me about it afterward. I'm like, I would have loved to go. Tell me about your gigs before you actually do them.
And
They're great.
Yeah.
It's so like, well, it's super intimate, right?
Yes.
The last one I went to was in a church, and they were playing a whole bunch of like, just different composers, Mozart, Bach, all those guys, and like it's just a quartet, and they've got all these candles, and the echoes so nice in a venue like that, and what's nice about that is like, one, they're not super expensive. I always buy the best seats, and you do show up a little bit early because the way they do it, it's zoned. So there's zone A, B, C, D. Zone A is the best, so that'll be like a $60 ticket, but then it's general admission in that zone. So it's like the first 5 rows.
Okay.
So I like to get there like a half hour early or 40 minutes early, and then I make sure I'm in the front row.
Right.
Of course you do.
So I see it because I like to be close. You know, come on, I want to see it. I want to see I want to hear the musicians breathe.
You want the spit on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's weird?
Yes.
They empty their valves.
Yeah, he just wants to
onto your
feel
head.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's weird? You know something that's weird that I never noticed today, and I don't know if it's accurate or if it's common or not.
Wait, weird about you?
No, weird about the situation, but
Okay.
or maybe I'm the weird one. I don't know.
I'm like ready.
Yeah. So
Let me tell you what's weird about you, Scott.
there's many
Where's
things.
that list?
There's many things. But also, me and my girlfriend went to the opera the other day.
Gorgeous.
And these are tickets that we got for free. But because it was like,
And they weren't what you wanted.
well, no, it was no, here's the thing. It was awesome. It was a production of Don Pasquale, which is playing at the Canadian COC right now, Canadian Opera, right? But the night we went, it was like what they call it? It was the ensemble cast performance. So like, I think none of the people who are the leads are normally the leads. It's like, I think it's all either the understudies or other people.
That's cool.
So I think that's why these tickets, they were kind of giving some of them away because it was like, I think it's not as popular maybe to
I
go.
think that's awesome. You give other people.
And they were great. They were really great. But so I remember when we was talking to the guy on this about getting our seats. So you know at the opera they have like it's not in English usually.
Yeah.
And so they put like the words, the surtitles way at the top.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So you can actually know what's going on. Yeah. They actually have a little
Subtitles.
thing. Yeah.
That's always like, because I want to go to the opera. I'm like, I did a lot of classical
So
singing.
you mentioned that.
So I was just like, I want to, but it's just like, I don't know enough Italian to
Yeah.
be able to
It's
like,
like fully understand.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to
follow
like.
the story.
Yeah. And the other thing also with that is because like everybody like. You know, all these are old shows, and most people know the story. But like, I don't really want to know the story. Like, I want to be surprised as I'm watching
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, I don't want to have to like do research
Exactly.
ahead
Yeah.
of time.
So this one, yeah, you can actually read the surtitles. But I remember I was on the phone with the guy. I was like, he's like, oh, I'm like, I want to be as close as possible, you know? And he goes, well, you know, just, you know, some people, if they don't want to be too close because they have to look up to see the surtitles. And I was like, I don't care about that. He's like, okay, we have
I
some.
would hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because it's very quick. What it is I don't think the surtitles show every single word. I think they show like a sentence that kind of gives enough.
Right.
So I find you're not like reading constantly. It's more like you're watching. And in opera, like they kind of repeat a lot of things. So it's like a guy will be like, oh, da, 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 and then he'll sing, oh, da, da, like because it's the music,
It's
right?
like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you look up and then you look back. But so the guy's like, okay, we have some in row D. Is that okay? I'm like, okay, sure. But when he got to the opera, the actual place, row D is the front row. It's like the front. It's like there's a railing and the orchestra was right there.
Oh my god.
You must have been in heaven.
It was awesome. But here's the thing. So we were sitting,
Too close?
the conductor was right next to us, like as far away as you are from me, right?
Whoa.
But what was weird was
Sorry.
when the show started, right? I could hear like, obviously like he's aggressively conducting and he was going like big breaths,
Oh,
I guess.
God.
And I was fine with. But when the show started, I could hear humming, like the music. So it's like, it'd be like, da, 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 and I could hear like, and at first I thought it was like the guy sitting two people over. I'm like, oh, he's a fan, he's singing. And I was going to say something. I'm like, hey, we don't want your soundtrack, buddy. You know, that's what I was going to do.
Oh my gosh.
But I sat for a minute and I noticed that it was the conductor. The conductor was like, I guess he's using it to keep,
Probably keep track
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
but he was like,
because he has to like keep the tempo for them. So if he's like humming it to himself, then he's able
knows
to do
what-
that
yeah.
without
Yeah.
rushing or sliding back in time.
but it was kind of distracting for me.
100%. Yeah, I would.
I thought you were
would
going to be
absolutely
like,
be
he hit
distracted.
me.
No,
Yeah, I thought
that would have been funny.
To be honest,
He was just like,
I thought you got a baton to the face. To be honest,
It's like perfect.
I mean, but no, it was just a little distracting because remember, so at the opera, same with the symphony, like there's no microphones in there,
right.
right? So like what you're hearing
Yeah.
is the sound of, so the
Everything.
singer, and the thing is like, orchestra's in front of me, so I hear the music really well. The singers are on the other end of the orchestra on the stage, and the guy who's conducting is closest to me. So like, his voice was the most prominent in my ear.
For sure.
And he was like, right? And I'm like, I'm trying to listen to the singers. And it was a little distracting. I don't know.
So, question, will you ever sit that close again? Or would you rather sit at like, if that was D, would you rather sit at like G?
I see Scout in the balcony.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. So,
See,
so
bougie.
but here, so that's true. So I like to sit in the orchestra. Yeah, usually 4 or 5 rows back. That's usually where our sweet spot, right? But that's the
Not
thing.
D.
But those seats, so in the opera, I don't go to the opera that often, but those seats are like $180, $160, right? The most expensive seats in the opera, though, like you're just mentioning, they're like the balcony at like the back of the theater. Those are like $300-$400 tickets, and apparently that's where the best sound is.
Yeah.
But like we would it's never occurred to us to be like, that's way too, like we would never spend that much to get that. But then part of me's curious. I'm like, what are they getting over there?
Well, they're getting everything reverberating and like self-balancing.
They're not
into
getting
them.
the.
Yeah, they're not getting the
Or that guy's just really like, they hear him the most. I don't know. Because yeah, you're right. That's what they say. Because the building is designed to like,
Yep.
right? So that's the best sound.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Like, is it real? Is it really?
How about you invest and let us know?
There you go. Yeah.
That's such an expensive investment,
It
though.
is an expensive investment.
But
for
can I
sure.
just say, Scott, you're complaining about free tickets.
No, yeah. I mean, that was just it was a weird experience. But the thing that is, I don't know, is like, is that common? Like, is that just is every conductor humming like that? And the only reason I didn't hear it? Yeah.
I'm sure.
It makes sense.
Because, like, there's versions of that in, like, all. Like, do you ever, like, when you're soloing, like, doing an improvised solo, you're, like, humming your solo as you're doing it? Because I know musicians who do that. Or if, like, they're soloing over, like, a jazz tune, they'll sing, like, the melody of the song so that they don't lose track of where they are in the progression when they're doing their improvised solo.
See, what she's saying
That's-
makes sense. What
that's-
you're saying is
That's
just
not so. Well, so me personally, that's not something I've ever done. I breathe aggressively, right? So like, you know, if I'm gonna go to one, like, you know, you'll hear some of that going on.
Yeah.
So that's why when the conductor was doing it, I was like, I'm like, all right, that kind of fit. But I'm like, I'm not here to hear him sing.
Right.
You know, I don't know. That was just a little.
Don't ask for the closest seats in the house.
Can I be like, excuse me, can you stop doing that, please?
I think the closest seats are like those were like the like peasant seats, right? Back in the day. That's where the phrase like break a leg came from.
Really?
Because it would be like those were they were called like penny seats or something. So maybe I'm making that up, but like they were like really, really, really like dirt cheap seats.
Yeah.
Because like like the common folk would sit right front row because like the balcony was all the rich people.
The
Yeah.
bougie spot.
And like because they were like so uncultured, if like the singers were really, really good, they would just be like hanging like with their mouths hanging open watching, and then they'd start drooling, and then they would trip on the stage. So that's where break a leg comes from. I think.
Wow.
Maybe I made that up.
But that was a great make-up story.
I've heard that somewhere. It's like a
Wow.
Shakespearean something or
Makes
something.
sense.
I mean,
or other.
it makes sense, especially like if I go to a musical, right? They always have the box seats at the side.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I wouldn't want to sit there. Like, I feel like the view for me. Okay, do you watch a fair number? Have you been to musicals? Do you like musicals?
I love musicals.
What's your favorite?
Oh my gosh.
Do you have a favorite?
Top 2.
Couldn't possibly. I mean, they're like Les Mis.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
And then what's number 2?
Yeah.
Or if number 1 is Les Mis number 1 for you?
Like, I've never not cried watching it in any iteration, even like the movie version. I know the purists are like, ugh, movie.
That's the only one I've seen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm one of those purists. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure. I mean, like, nothing can beat, like, Lea Salonga. Like, literally nothing, you know. But, I mean, I wanted to see Wicked. It is in Toronto this summer, and I was looking at the tickets for it, and I was like, I can't afford that in this economy. But I want to so badly see Wicked, and I think that would be, just because I love all the music from it. Hamilton I also loved. And then, like, you know, the like pop music ones, like I liked Mamma Mia, I liked We Will Rock You, and that was a thing.
So
So she likes them.
So it's good you
I
like
do,
them. Okay, so where's your ideal seat? You're going to if you had to choose your seat, where are you sitting?
Ooh, I do like front balcony. Yeah, I do, because I can see everything.
Yes.
I like that I don't have to like, especially when there's like staging like things that like are supposed to be kind of like blink and you miss it stuff happening. I like having the full picture.
Yes.
Where it's just like all the main action is here, but somebody's doing something over there, and I want to see that too. And I can also see like the ensemble cast like purposely trying to like crack each other up or mess each other up and like looking in the wings and stuff. I like all that stuff. I was like in musicals in
Makes
high
sense.
school, so I
Yeah.
like watching all the like
Makes sense.
stuff that shouldn't be happening happen. Yeah.
You want to make sure you see every all the stuff on the edges even.
Exactly. Yeah.
She likes the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I do.
My opinion has shifted in the last few years.
I thought you were going to say a few minutes.
No, you've changed my mind. No, I realize now. I realize it especially. Did you see the Harry Potter one?
Yes.
No, but I wanted to, and then I ran out of time, and then it was.
Go to New York.
It was
It's
very
that
cool. It was very cool.
It was.
But that one, I actually ended up seeing it twice because they did a sale. It was like 50% off, so I went a second time. But the first time I went, I was sitting pretty close to the front balcony, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. But then when I went the second time, because the seats were so cheap, we bought like as close as we could get, and we were like third row or something. And I realized that I cried the second time I watched it, even though I knew what was going to happen. Yeah, I teared up.
I didn't. I don't know.
And what I realized was, when I was closer to the actors, I could like see
makes sense.
their facial expressions, and I
more
found myself
engaged in it.
connecting a lot more. And the other thing I noticed is that it's almost the opposite of what you just said, how like you want to sort of see everything.
Yeah.
What I noticed was like, say when you're doing choreography, right? Or when you're watching choreography, and there's like, they're doing a number, right? And like they kind of, maybe some guys they'll come out and they'll crisscross, and then they'll go over there, and then like they'll just kind of, oh sorry, and then they'll kind of just like, did I knock you down?
No, you knocked this over and then.
Oh.
It's okay.
Sorry, this is the conductor. But yeah, and then they'll like be coming back around.
Yeah.
You know, I realized that like I almost like when you're closer that like you feel like it's so big that you can't see all of it. So it's almost like it's like this. It's like it's, and then when someone leaves, it's like they disappear.
He just likes it.
And then it's like,
His hand is right close
yeah.
to my face.
Sorry. So it feels more like it's just huge.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that. I like that feel.
Like I understand what you're saying, because if I've seen a few shows, like even just like community productions, like JDL, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring it to pageants because that's kind of my real house. If I get distracted, because I'd be like, sorry.
No, I was going for my coffee.
I'll be like, that person just messed up. So now I'm only focused on that person
Right.
instead of the entire thing.
Right. Yeah. I like that though, because I'm like, how are you gonna recover? From
I think
this?
because but it's the same
like
thing
that
to you
vibe,
because like you're also a theater kid. For me, it's the pageant side where I'm like, oh, you messed up. I can't stop looking at you. Stop walking like that. Move your arm. Like
Right.
I get fixated on that too.
Right.
Similar to you're like, ooh, I want to see behind the wing.
Yeah,
and see
yeah,
what's
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And then the other trade-off as well. Harry Potter wasn't as bad because it's not a musical.
Right.
But it's like just a play.
Right.
But with musicals, if you're really close with musicals, they are using microphones, but the speaker system typically is like way up there.
Yeah.
So if you are too close, you're kind of sitting underneath it, so you're not getting the
as a
best
whole.
sound.
Yeah, it's like muddy and boomy.
Yeah. You know, look at
I also find that like overacting serves me better the farther.
Very
That's a good
You
point.
know what I mean?
That's true.
It's just like you're doing a lot for me. You're
Yep.
like spitting in my face a little bit.
He likes that apparently.
Evidently.
Well, actually, you know when I really noticed that? Because you're right. I kind of forgot about that. I saw the Bat Out of Hell musical a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And the lead guy in that,
Did you get spit on?
no, I didn't get spit on, but his reactions to stuff were so like it was so much
Yeah.
that actually kind of took me out of it. And I'm like, oh, I get it. He's playing to the people at the back.
Exactly.
But up here, it just looks, it's weird.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Harry Potter, I didn't find the acting wasn't super over the top in that regard.
It's more so with
It depends.
musicals.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like to sell the whole breaking out into song thing, you have to really kind of lean into the campy.
100%.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
How did you feel about? Have you seen the new Mean Girls?
I didn't. Actually, wait. I saw the musical live. I didn't see the movie though.
You didn't see the movie.
Did you see it?
I saw. Yeah, I've seen them both.
Did you like it?
I couldn't stick to the movie. I tried it, because like on my birthday special we talked about it. I'm like, oh, I'll try watching it. I'm like, I like the original too much.
Yes, I think the movie, not as a musical, worked better for sure, and then the musical worked better as a live musical.
Makes sense.
But I think it was just that like they were kind of like self-consciously doing this musical thing.
Oh.
It's like trying to like, you know, like
They're trying to live up to.
I think it was more like trying to like when you're like an older person, you're trying to like be relatable and get down with the kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
That kind of
Like
like,
the cool mom
self-conscious,
vibe.
cringy kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool mom. Yeah. The movie musical was the cool mom.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Oh.
Noted.
Yeah. So like I think if they leaned more into it, it could have worked really, really well because I think they had a lot of components to make it really good. Like Renee Rapp was literally in the live musical
Wow.
as Regina George. So like it totally could have worked.
You know what? I
Just didn't lean into it.
I can feel that, in that I find that with some movies are like that, where like that there's that kind of comedy where it's very self-aware. Like I don't like it when they do. It's almost like how Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of started it, but they use a bit of it in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they always have those characters that it's like something crazy is happening, but there's always that one character who's like, whoa, this is nuts. Can you believe that guy hit that guy with the sword? Isn't that crazy? And it's like, oh, okay, but you're actually, if you do too much of that,
Yeah.
it kind of takes you out of it. It's like, wait, are you actually in danger? Like, why are you being so funny right now?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you got to just, yep, you're in a fight. Be in the fight.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's also a show, Scott.
What?
Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah. Oh, I know. They started it, and then
I'm
they,
like, but it's just a show.
but they didn't go over the top with it. But my point is, I think that type of writing kind of poisoned a lot of things that came after it in the years later.
But Community does it really well.
Yes, you're right. It's I think it's not every writer is good enough to write it well. I think,
Right.
because I agree, Community does it very, very well.
Yeah. Because like they'll do like very high stakes like hijinks stuff, but it's like a school-wide paintball game, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yes, but I think what I think it is. I think the key to it is like, there needs to be like, you need to be able to be funny and have fun with everything, and like, oh, this is so crazy. But then there needs to be an element of it that's rooted in like, suddenly things get crazy, and like someone actually, like in that moment, the person reacts like a person really would. And I think it's knowing when to do it. And that's why I think Community, there is still like a kind of a real heart to it a lot of the times.
For sure.
Right? Like some of it's actually, some parts get actually very like, not serious, but like emotionally, like sad even a little bit sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Speaking of
like
Community.
Ovid's storylines.
Oh, sorry.
No. I was like Ovid's storylines half the time. Oh, they get me so much.
I love that show.
Yeah.
And
Great
speaking of communities that bring the show together.
We should do the ads. We've been look at that. We've been talking for almost an hour. Look at us.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we'll do the ad break, and then
Cut you off. I'm so
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you're a singer,
I am a singer.
and you're gonna sing. You're gonna sing a song for us.
I am.
So we'll do the ads,
Cool.
and then we'll come out of the ad break, and you will sing for us a song, and then
We'll talk about it.
well, why don't you quickly tell us what are you gonna sing for us?
Soup. It's a song that I wrote during COVID because I was missing my boyfriend. We were, quarantined, so we didn't see each other.
Aww.
It was very, cheesy little love song, and that's out. That was the one single that I released last summer.
Very nice.
Just kind of like put it out, see what happens, and then I did. Didn't
Sweet.
tell anybody. There it
And
is.
now let's hear on the sit
We're
down.
telling you now.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do the ads. So if you want, you can kind of make your way over to the performance area, and we'll read the ads, and then we're gonna come back with some soup. All right. Some nice, delicious soup. Everybody. Today's wonderful episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown is brought to you by the following fantastic advertisers. They make this show possible. So let's meet them, shall we? The Toronto real estate market is growing and changing every day. In these challenging times, you need someone in your corner. Jeanette McKenzie, Realtor at Forest Hill Signature, is committed to looking out for you. She'll go the extra mile to ensure you have all the information you need to make a decision you can feel confident about. Purchasing a home is one of the biggest financial investments you'll make in life. Don't leave it to chance. Call Jeanette McKenzie at Forest Hill Signature. She's my realtor, and she could be yours. Call today, 416-523-0408, or email at jmckenziehomes@gmail.com. Jewelry forever. Conveniently located at CF Markville Shopping Center on 5000 Highway 7 East, Markham. They do custom-made jewelry. They do repairs. They do custom laser engraving. Wow. Incredible. And they change watch batteries, all done on site. Jerry at Jewelry Forever, an amazing artist. Do you have a vision for something you'd like to be made? He can make it for you out of that raw gold. He'll make it into a beautiful ring. Did something get damaged? I saw him on TikTok. He repaired a ring that got crushed flat by a car, and he brought it back to its former glory. It looked like a ring. Incredible. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and on TikTok, Jewelry Forever. And we have an amazing deal worked out with them too. If you mention the show, tell them Scott and Regine sent you. You will get 15% off your purchase. That's right, 15%, 15%. Amazing deal. Head on over there, mention the show, get a great deal for something special for the special person in your life, and find out more at jewelryforever.ca. Beautified by Romina.
Internationally trained hair and makeup artist. She's the official hair and makeup artist of The Sit Down. Not only does she do our hair and makeup when we do gigs, I don't do gigs, live emceeing.
Everything.
Yes, but she also does hair and makeup for pageants, weddings, engagements, photo shoots.
Anywhere, everywhere you need to go to be beautified.
Contact her at Beautified by Romina on Instagram and Facebook.
That's right. And if you would like to advertise on the show, it's very easy, right, Regine?
It's simple. All you have to do is email us at radioshowad, that's radioshowad@gmail.com.
That's right. We do the show live every week, people. And we do the ads live week to week. What's that mean? It means you can personalize them week to week.
Yep.
Do you have an event, a sale, something happening at a particular time, particular place? You let us know. We let your potential client base know in a real time. It's a great way to build a brand new relationship with a brand new audience. Get in touch. Radio show ad, radio show AD at gmail.com. And we're back.
We are. Oh, Thomas is back.
Thomas,
Welcome back.
welcome to the show. And Thomas, you're just in time.
You are.
We're going to see an incredible live performance from Raquel, who is here live in studio.
We haven't had a live performance since Christmas.
Is that the last one?
I think so.
Since December of last
I
year.
could be wrong. Oh, no, I'm wrong.
Since whenever it was.
Since we had Triple Act on
Oh yeah, okay.
a few months ago.
Wow, months ago. So everybody, I'm going to get myself ready here to get ready. Do you want to introduce it? Or
I'll go. You go. Go away.
okay. So you'll mute that. I'm
Uh-huh.
do this,
Uh-huh.
and I think we'll just hit that.
Yep. He can't let it go.
I'm just trying to remember, and then you're going to go to. This.
I know what to do. Go away.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Now that Scott is ready once again, folks, let's welcome to the sit down stage, Raquel.
You ruined me in the most beautiful way. It came naturally. Then you kissed me delicately, so gentle. I don't know. I think you healed my enemies. I wanna make everything alright. I wanna be soup for your soul. I wanna hold you down for life. I'm in this more than you know. You gave me peace that I didn't know was possible. And you can't even feel why it's magic that the whole world stops when you're laughing. But you see me, so honestly I think it might scare me. Restless and ashamed, but you make it beautiful anyway. I wanna make everything alright. I wanna be soup for your soul. I wanna hold you down for life. I'm in this more than you know.
And that was Raquel. Woo! And here they come. That was a vibe. That was definitely a vibe.
Thank you.
I loved it.
I like that song.
I do too.
It's very chill.
I didn't know where you were going with the title Soup. And then as you started singing, I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah,
I
I
get it.
had one of the books in my in my
Chicken noodle
bookcase. I
soup
was
for
literally
the
staring at it.
teenage soul.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. the first line of that I wrote for the song was because I was watching She's the Man.
Ah.
And like, do you remember the scene where like, did you see like yeah.
Saw it a long time ago. I can't remember that much about it. But
So there's this scene where like the girl that has a crush on Amanda Bynes as a boy was like talking to Amanda Bynes as the girl.
Yep.
And then was like, I'm just gonna kiss him so passionately that even his enemies will feel pleasure. I was like watching that movie while I was like listening to the guitar loop, and I was like,
Down.
I'm just gonna change that up a little bit. And then, yeah. And so, yeah, those were the first
That's awesome.
thing I came from.
it's very nice. I love it's so like the guitar, I love that there's like these nice little pauses, you know, and then the guitar will just do like a little riff, and it's just very like, you just get this very chill feel
love
of
it.
just like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna sit down and play.
Shout out to Joel Bazaire. He was my guitar player for this.
Nice.
I wrote it to like a loop I found on the internet, and then I was like, do this, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, it's a very, like, it's 4 bars over and over again. Very robotic, I was like, do whatever you want. I don't care. And so he took it to all these crazy places. And like, everybody loves the guitar whenever they talk to me about it. And they're like, how is it going to? And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, shout out to Joel Bazaire.
Good job, Joel.
So that was made, you said, during the pandemic. So,
Yeah.
So was that kind of like I guess it made it, was it kind of made in isolation? Like, did you have to like, he had to record somewhere and send you the tracks, or were you able to meet up and actually work together, or how did you do it?
So I wrote it entirely by myself during the pandemic, and then right after like quarantine, because I was still doing my undergrad. So part of that in 4th year is you do like an EP project
Oh, sweet.
where it's like 4 to 6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took it to Joel, and I was like, obviously this sounds like me and a computer, and I would like for it to not sound that way. So we recorded it together.
Awesome.
But in the booth, like I was in what's like the drum booth, and he was like on the other side of it with like this glass. So we were just like facing each other, and like the lights were all down and stuff. And it's just like me and one of my best friends in the world. So
Cool. Actually, I guess, you know, recording studios in that way, they're kind of built well for in a quarantine situation, because there's like, especially certain studios. Like I remember I worked at one. Yeah, it was like everyone was in their own little glass room. That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of ideal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Well, very nice song. I really like the harmonies too.
Thank you.
They were just like, yeah, I love the harmonies.
I'm glad. Yeah. Vocal production, vocal arranging is really like my jam. I love it so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And listening to your voice, I can understand why they've included you in a 90s, 2000s R&B group, because that's where your vocals fit perfect.
Oh, that's definitely, I listened to it my whole life. Like Lauryn Hill, Alicia Keys.
I love that. Me too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Sweet. There it is. Soup, out now on all digital music platforms.
literally everywhere. Even Napster, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not Napster.
I know. It's everywhere.
Wow.
I love that.
Does Napster still exist?
Apparently.
I have no idea, but apparently.
It's on Napster. It's on LimeWire.
Is it on LimeWire?
I think, isn't LimeWire a little too illegal?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
It was.
I never used
the
it.
distributor was like, "Do you want to put it everywhere?" I'm like, "That's not going to cost me more. Why not?"
Exactly.
so
Oh.
it's just.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's not like is Napster now what Napster used to be, or has it like evolved?
Don't know, to be honest.
Because I remember Napster used to just be like, it was basically just download everything, and you can get anything you
Get
want.
all the viruses
It's all here.
while you're at it.
Yeah, Napster was like just before my time. I was a LimeWire, Kazaa.
I was a LimeWire.
era.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Kazaa. That's another one. Yeah.
Oh man, remember when we just
Let's just
infected our
age
computers?
yourselves. Thomas is probably like, "What's LimeWire?"
Look it up.
Kazaa.
No, don't
Look it
look it up.
Don't look it up. I forgot about Kazaa. That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's everywhere. Napster too, and LimeWire and Kazaa. Why not?
And so, Raquel, you mentioned that you're also working on new music.
I am. Yeah, I am writing and recording right now. I'm starting to like get back into my writer's bag a little bit.
Awesome.
I've missed it for sure. So yeah, I'm writing and recording and planning for a show late summer, like a Raquel show and not Wing Night the Band show.
Sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that hopefully goes through, and then that'll go down. I'm very excited about leaning into my artist situation.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
So I think that just means we have to have Raquel back on at some point this
Yeah, when it
summer
comes out,
to-
when the new
to
stuff
talk
comes out.
about
Or the show.
the songs
I'm
and the
so down.
shows.
So down. Would love that.
Excited.
The new stuff that you're writing is, I don't know
Is it
how.
based on pandemic life or is it post-pandemic?
No, I'm so over a pandemic.
Yeah, I almost forgot. Like, it almost feels like it didn't happen. Like, I'm almost just like, I don't remember that.
That's nice for you.
Masks.
No, I'm like, good for you.
Well, no, like it feels like a time. Like it feels like another world. You know, like when I think of all the things that I was worried about and all the
multiverse.
things that I used to have to do,
I guess.
and then the idea that of doing any of it is so I'm thinking about when I used to wipe my groceries. You know,
Right.
or like being at the gas station and kind of being scared.
Right.
It's like
You
you
know?
need to sanitize.
Like all of that is just like that was just another.
I still keep hand sanitizer with me.
I do still
Yeah.
have. You know what? I still am in the habit now. Like if I go into a store, I get back to the car.
Always sanitizer.
Yeah, I can't
You know.
unknow things that we learned
Yeah.
during that time.
I think
during
the
That's true.
pandemic made me more of a germaphobe than I thought I.
A
Like, I
little,
wasn't
yeah.
one,
Yeah.
and then I was like, whoa.
And there's probably some benefit that everybody is just a little bit more aware of their
I think
personal
so.
hygiene, right?
Like now I'm like even like I have a 7-month-old niece. So like when I come over to my brother's place, I'm like nobody touch me, and then I go wash my hands. Obviously you wash your hands before touching a baby anyway.
Always, yeah.
But then I'd like text on my phone. I'm like, well, gotta go wash my hands before I go pick up the baby again.
Yeah.
But it's just like you wouldn't think about that
Things we didn't used to think about before.
Yeah, like during the pandemic for Christmas, I got from my uncle and aunt one of those sanitizing things for your electronics. I'm like, I wouldn't have even thought to desanitize or sanitize my phone.
That's true.
Desanitize.
And our phones are actually pretty gross.
They are.
They are
You
so
know.
gross.
You know, I mean, they're just like, yeah.
Because you
They
touch
just-
them constantly.
Yeah.
Even when you can't sanitize your hands, like you're on your phone
Yeah.
checking your grocery list and
Yeah.
stuff.
Take it to the washroom with you.
Oh, I don't do that.
What? Really? For real?
I don't like having my phone in the wash. That's weird for me.
I'm not sure now who's weirder. I'm not sure if that's weird for you not to do that or for me to
I
do
just
that.
think
I mean,
it's-
I do.
I just don't like the idea of.
I agree with you. It's
extra
not.
germs
I agree
on
with
it.
you that it's definitely probably
Have you
better.
not seen those commercials where they're on their phone on the toilet and it falls
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the toilet?
No, I completely agree with you that it's probably better if we don't. But I'm wondering if we polled the world and saw what percentage of people bring their phones with them and those that don't. I'm wondering which would be higher. What do you think?
It definitely would be
Higher,
phones.
yeah.
Phones in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But to be fair, I also work from home, so I just leave my phone and walk to the washroom and come back. I don't.
Fair enough.
I'm
That's
already
true. You
on
want
my
to be
phone all
like
the time.
inaccessible for
Yeah.
the
Oh,
time
yeah,
that
that's
you're
true.
in the bathroom.
Not there long.
that's true. Oh, Team Wolf 857. What's this stream about? Welcome to the show. We are here with singer songwriter Raquel, who's in the studio. She just sang a song, and we're just chatting with her, finding things out, talking about a whole sorts of stuff.
It's Raquel Dot.
There is a
kidding.
dot.
Oh yeah, we were gonna ask about that.
Why
Although,
is
but
there-
you don't pronounce it though.
You don't pronounce
It's
the dot.
silent
No.
dot.
Yeah, because you know. So
My
so
friends make fun of me though, and they call me Raquel Dot. Like I was like, if I'm a celebrity thing, I was just like, leave me alone.
okay. Well, let's. We were gonna ask about that anyway. So yes, there's a period at the end of your
Would
name.
you rather be called Raquel Dot or Raquel Period?
I think she.
I
It's
think
probably
it's just
Raquel,
Raquel.
right? So tell us the story. Where did Raquel, with the period, come from?
It was just I wanted like an artist alias that was me, but like not my whole name. You just want to be able to like separate certain parts of your life. And you can
So her name's actually not
prevent.
Raquel.
My name is Raquel, but I do have a last name, but just not as an artist. And so like when I started leaning into the whole artist thing and letting it be my name, and people would be like, "But Raquel, what?" And I'm like, "Nothing. Raquel. Period." I'm like, "Okay, let me just make it official.
Period.
Period."
Period. I do like that. I like that. I went the exact reverse way.
He did his.
Whereas
full
I did my
legal-
full name,
yeah.
including my middle name.
I just did
That's amazing.
first and second name.
But I think it's a similar. It comes from a similar place. Like you want a name that's like unique,
Yeah.
right? And I found Scott Brown. Although I've never really met another Scott Brown, but it feels to me like that would be a very common name, like Scott Brown.
I feel like-
Brown, for example, there are a million Browns.
Right.
And Scott, I haven't met that many Scotts, but I know they exist.
Do you know? Ever since like we did our show, I've become more
Aware of the
aware
Scots you
of
meet?
the people. Yeah,
I think you're the only Regine I've met.
I'm glad I'm not the only Regine I know
But I'm the only Scott Dion Brown in the world.
that he knows.
There
of.
it is.
I can search up Scott Dion Brown, and as long as I'm quick enough, I'll get every
Not on
social media
TikTok.
handle. Yeah, but honestly, I don't have Scott Dion Brown on TikTok, and I think I know why. I think somebody who either watched this show or saw me stream grabbed it and just took it for that. I'm positive. Because it's just parked. It's just a taken thing, and the photo is like a person holding a camera. So it's like it's like a stock photo of like a photographer. So they know I'm like a videographer, you film guy.
It's still there.
It is. I checked recently because I want to see if I can get it. But that's literally like I'm famous enough that people want my name
Yeah,
because I'm just so famous. You know?
you are.
So
Yeah.
famous.
But the point is,
You
it's
have an enemy.
an enemy or at least a troll. You know.
No, let's make
yeah,
this.
see Scott
It's
Dion.
an enemy.
But
It's
an
there's a
enemy.
Scott
Yeah.
Dion.
This is some like Incredibles type
There's
stuff.
someone
Yeah.
called
Someone's watching.
Yeah.
Scott dot Dion.
I
Yeah.
want to know their origin story.
I
Like,
know.
what if they
Someone's
like?
following them.
What if you're their
it's
hero, and then like one time you just walked by them without saying hi, and they're like, you know what?
Maybe it's a stalker.
I'm gonna steal your TikTok potential.
Yeah, that's the photo that's on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that could very well be you. Have you tried hacking? No, I'm kidding.
I'll find it.
Well, this person
I
has
got-
a wedding ring, and Scott does not.
I highly doubt that's. I'm sure that's just a photo they
I
found.
feel, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's like a stock photo of some kind.
We should Google reverse image this photo
Yeah.
and see what we get.
Ooh.
It'll find it. You
I
know,
watched too much Catfish.
you know what the thing is?
I loved that show.
I love it too.
You know what I think it is?
What?
I kind of have a vague memory a long time ago when I was on stream when I just
It would be funny if
when-
that was actually his account.
What?
He made it and forgot about it.
no, yeah. Oh, that is me. Oh, yeah, I have it in my phone. No.
You should actually click forgot password and see what happens.
I didn't make it a TikTok. I know it's not mine. I know it's not mine. First of all, I wouldn't have chosen that photo because I have a photo I use. But
yeah,
but I kind of remember on stream being like, because I didn't rush to get TikTok. I wasn't that interested in it when it came.
Right.
But I do remember somebody at one point like, asking me if I had a TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And then I think I kind of made a joke.
That stream.
What?
Go back to that stream. And
I
see
don't even
what's
remember when it
there.
was. There's so many streams. But like I kind of vaguely remember saying something like, nobody better steal it or whatever. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of those kids watching
It's
as a
Thomas.
joke.
Yo,
As a joke.
what if it was Thomas?
Thomas.
Anyway, I think it was one of those kids maybe who just like for fun made it. And then it's just sitting there.
Scott, I made it.
I mean, I don't care that much. And TikTok might actually get banned. So who knows?
Yes.
It'll all be fine. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't think if they banned it in the US, they wouldn't ban it here too?
Not yet. Not right away.
We tend to follow what they do though.
Yeah, but not right away.
Sometimes we keep it chill. We're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
We try to keep it PG
we're
with some countries.
amenable. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have a vaccine for it, no problem. Then we'll get back.
Anyway, like I'll survive. Like I'm not that on it at least, but like I'm Scott Dion Brown official on TikTok.
Whoa. It's official.
Right.
Yeah. Why'd we get on this again? Oh yeah, I was just saying how I went the opposite way with the name.
For the
Right,
name, yeah.
yes.
I'm the only Scott Dion Brown.
You did more names.
Yeah.
I did
It's funny
less
because
names.
people think my last name is Alaina, and I'm like, that's actually part of my name. It's
Yeah.
not my last name.
Yeah.
Like I would have, like, for example, if we were to do a show or like MC an event, they'll put my legal name as, like, if they were to, I don't know, maybe e-transfer, it'd be like Regine Alaina instead of.
Oh,
Yeah.
your last
No
name.
one knows what my legal name is.
Right.
No. If you
Well, they do.
Wait, if
but
somebody-
I changed it, so
if somebody wrote a check to you, Regine Alaina, could you cash that?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't-
It's part of my name on my bank account.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would work. Okay.
Don't try to hack me.
No, but I mean, like, let's say,
There, don't.
like, for example, if somebody wrote a thing, because it's part of your actual name. Because I'm thinking if somebody wrote, like,
Scott Brown.
yeah, that would work. But if they wrote, like,
Dion.
Scott coffee mug, right? I couldn't just
Yeah.
cash that
Wow.
because I'm like, I'm not Scott.
Well, when I got married, we got checks that would be like Regine and blank last name
Wait, and?
and husband's name.
Can you write a check like that?
Well, he cashed it out and it worked because his
That
name
feels-
was on there.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
don't have a joint account, but he still.
But it still work?
It just made sense because I hadn't legally changed my last name yet, so I'm like, just you do it.
Right.
Your name's on there.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like a,
Well, guess what? We did it on the app. It went through. We got
Oh.
the money. We spent it.
feels
All
like
was good.
feels like a breach of security though, doesn't it? To just allow a random name in there?
Well, that's a problem with the app now, I guess.
Interesting.
We should write a check to you and your girlfriend and see what happens.
Like, would it work? Yeah.
It worked for.
I guess it would. I've never thought about it. I don't write checks very often, or at all, really.
I don't even have a checkbook. I don't know how I would write.
E-transfers have taken over everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you quickly about.
Wait, do you have a hard stop?
Yeah, are you okay to talk for? It's 12:15 right now. We're good.
I'm chill.
Okay.
Okay, we talked briefly beforehand about Star Wars.
This is right too.
Oh yeah.
And I just wanted to get curious about it because you said you're not really a fan. You've seen some of it, and I just wanted to know a little bit about your Star Wars experience.
Yeah, I've seen most of it. It's not that I'm not a fan. I'm not like hardcore about it.
She's not you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get episode 2 and 4 mixed up all the time. For instance, you know.
Okay.
But the hard one to get through is Hayden Christensen being all angsty. But apparently he's redeemed himself with the new series.
Yes. Yeah.
So stoked about that. Good for him. The latest trilogy was hard to get through a little bit. No, it wasn't that it was hard to get through. Hayden Christensen being angsty was hard to get through. The latest trilogy was just kind of a cop-out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just you did this storyline literally twice already.
I've only seen one episode.
Switch it up. Well, you've seen them all then.
Yeah.
Switch it up, you know? Yeah, it's just the whole...
I would say, yeah, the sequel trilogy for me, it was a missed opportunity, I think. I think they could have done a lot more with it.
Yeah, and it was headed that way for a second, and then it's JK, Palpatine. It's okay.
Yeah. You know what redeemed the prequels for me? Because I was not big on the prequels. For me, I'm always original trilogy. 4, 5, 6. That's my trilogy.
Those were great.
Yeah. And that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Apparently, George Lucas's wife basically rewrote the whole.
She had a
plot.
huge role in it. Yeah, a huge role.
Apparently, it was not good. The original one, where he was just
Damn.
basically shooting a bunch of random stuff, and
Yeah.
then she actually pulled it all together and gave it a storyline.
Yeah,
the reason it's great is because of his wife.
Yeah, there's an interesting video I watched called "How Star Wars Was Saved in the Edit." I don't know if you've seen that one.
No,
It's
but I think that's probably
talks about that same stuff. Yeah. What I've realized with George, I think he's I've thought about this quite a bit actually. I think what he is he's a big picture, big ideas type of guy, which is why when you look at the Star Wars universe and the whole story as a whole, it's amazing, and the world he built and the idea behind it, the Force and just all of it. You know, he basically built this world out of nothing. But I think where he struggles, I think where his problem is the details. I think he's not super detail oriented, unlike the performance part of the filmmaking part and the writing, the specific words that somebody has to say.
Right.
Because when you watch interviews with even Mark Hamill and them and Carrie Fisher did a lot of rewrites too, especially the second movie.
Yeah.
And when you watch those, you hear that his dialogue has always been very clunky because it's the dialogue is serving the purpose of the story, but then it's Mark Hamill has been quoted being who talks like this, George? Right?
Yeah.
And I think in the original trilogy, he had actors, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill. They were the types of actors I think that they brought a lot of their own character and their own personality into the role,
Yes.
and they found a way to make it great.
Yes.
And then he said he had a lot of other people helping in the writing and the creation of it.
Right.
Whereas I think in the prequel trilogy, I don't know if he had, maybe because, fast forward 30 years from the original trilogy, he's become this super mega star filmmaking
For
legend.
sure, yeah.
And so maybe he didn't have those people who were willing to be who talks like this? Right?
Yeah.
And that's why when you talk about the angsty, especially episode 2.
It is the lines specifically because
Yeah.
I loved Liam Neeson. I loved the first prequel. It was so good, and then he died, and that was rough for me personally.
Nobody talks like a normal person in episode 2. It's such a strange movie when you just look at it.
Too,
Yeah, 3's just. I found 3 is a better movie than 2.
Yes.
But you're right. The dialogue is it's a strange movie.
Yeah.
They're strange movies.
And I think probably out of all of them, I think Hayden Christensen probably had the least weight at the time to his name,
Oh yeah.
as opposed to Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor and stuff. They could be I can I can interpret this line in a more natural way, and nobody's going to be how dare you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You couldn't. Yeah, I don't think there were very many actors on that movie who could have. Yeah, just literally rewritten their lines,
Yeah.
right? So I think it was, I don't know.
Either you're with me or you are my enemy.
Yeah, you know.
It's rough.
But you know, the interesting thing is what's also happened though. So like when those movies first came out, yeah, obviously a lot of fans of the original trilogy really didn't like them. I didn't hate them, but it was just like for me, it almost. I actually kind of turned away from Star Wars for a while when those came out after those movies because I just sort of lost interest. They just weren't as good, and I kind of But what I've realized now is that there's now this entire element of fan base who people weren't aware of when those movies came out there because they were little kids.
Right.
They grew up now, and for them, like the prequels are their Star Wars.
That was me. Like when
But-
I was a little, like that was when that was
Yeah.
that time, because I wasn't around for the original trilogy.
But they didn't hook you in the same way, I guess.
no.
Yeah. I mean, not
Darth
everybody.
Maul was like,
Darth Maul was cool.
yeah.
But
and
know-
that was like the fight. It was like, yeah. I was also very long. The first prequel.
Yeah, it's
Like,
also the I remember when I was watching it the first time, I was like, why are they spending so much time on this pod race? I'm like, when are they going to go back to the war? It felt like, is this movie just about the race? You
Yeah,
know?
I think maybe that's like to try to set the whole thing as him as like the star pilot.
Yeah.
Type of vibe.
But I remember thinking, I remember the first time I watched it, I still remember that thought. I was like, oh, when are we going to go back to fighting? Like, why? How come we're just watching this race? It's such a
Yeah.
strange. I've grown to appreciate it now. You know what really made me like the prequels now? Is if you have Disney Plus,
I do.
and if you feel like watching a ton of show, the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, I have to get into that one.
Yeah, because what it did is it pads out so much of the story, and all these people that aren't even like basically side characters in the prequel movies,
Right.
they have whole storylines in the prequels, and then when you go back and watch the movies after watching Clone Wars, you like them more because you know a lot more.
That is what I've heard.
So even Anakin is more likable after you've seen him in the prequels.
I've
in the
heard
Clone Wars.
that. I've heard because of his whole like Ahsoka, like
Yes.
their whole back and forth.
Yeah.
Apparently you like Anakin better, and I love that. And I love that he's redeemed himself in that role because like he is a great actor and Canadian, so
Yeah,
represent.
he's a good Canadian boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
So
So, and now we're seeing where they're going with it next. I don't know. The Bad Batch TV show. Well, in fact, so if you watch Clone Wars,
There's more?
there's more coming actually. Yeah,
like
they're-
another trilogy.
Isn't there like a
I know they're-
Mando
How much
thing
can we do
coming out?
the abandonment issues, daddy turned bad storyline?
that's the question. I know because I know that they've announced I think
Like-
3 more movies. 3 more movies. One of them is
Really?
starring Rey from the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
One of them it takes place like 1,000 years before Star Wars. So this is going to be totally new stuff.
Right.
Or totally old, depending how you look at it.
Yeah.
And then another one is going to be on a continuation of the Mandalorian stuff. Have you watched the Mandalorian?
No, but I want to.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Of all Star Wars things, that's the one. I only watched a little bit of the first season. I only watched it because of Grogu,
Yeah.
to be real.
I've only seen, my boyfriend sent me the clip of like the one scene where he's like in this like robot suit and he's just like, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, they did a good job of the
He's
cute.
cute.
The cute factor.
That's the only reason why I watched it.
My favorite Star Wars Disney has made is Andor, the show,
Okay.
which is
Isn't that the new one?
it's pretty new, and it's interesting because I really liked it because I actually think it's just a great show, not just a great Star Wars show. It's like the writing is so good, but it's not paced the same way that other Star Wars stuff is. Like, so some people think it's too slow. I'm like, I don't know. If you like Game of Thrones, if you like that type of like drama where you're building towards something and it's about like the way that person looked at somebody else, if you like
Yeah.
that, you'll like Andor.
Okay. I do love good character building.
Yeah.
It really annoys me when characters aren't fleshed out.
Andor almost doesn't even feel like a Star Wars show, and you don't really even need to know anything about Star Wars. It takes place. Did you watch Rogue One, the movie Rogue One?
Yes.
It's some of the characters from Rogue One are in it, and it's basically the whole show is leading up to Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
And actually, did you like Rogue One?
Yeah.
I liked
yeah.
it. I liked it as well. I just found the characters weren't as likable because it wasn't as fun a movie.
I think maybe 'cause, like there was no connection at the time to any of like the beloved characters.
Yeah.
Like I think we weren't prepared for it to like not be part of the main storyline or the main arc.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we were prepared for it to be like this is a side plot, It's like,
Yeah.
okay, let's enjoy this as like part of the franchise, but like its own thing.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, actually.
For someone who said they didn't like Star Wars,
I don't like, people are really defensive about what a real fan is about some things.
He's like,
so
yep.
I just
Oh, no, I don't think I am, but yeah, continue.
I just don't like claim to be, you know what I mean? Like I'm still very confused by the whole clones and the Boba Fett and the Jango Fett of it all. I'm still very confused about the origin story about that.
Yes.
Like there's things that like everybody knows that I just don't know.
You got to watch Clone Wars.
Okay.
You know more than I do.
Clone Wars, I will say this. I think the first 2 seasons, you have to watch them, but Clone Wars season 1 and 2 feels the most like you're kind of watching a kid's show. It's like, it's still fun to watch,
Is it a
Right.
cartoon?
but it's like computer animated.
Yeah.
But it's, I think around season 3, things get a lot more serious, quite a bit darker.
Yeah.
And like by that point, like there are parts in Clone Wars, and then even more so in Bad Batch, you're like, this isn't a kid's show at all.
Yeah.
Like there's so much death in Clone Wars. So much death.
Love that.
The clones just die, like, because there's so many of them. They don't mind, like battle scenes, like, they're dying all the time. People get stabbed all the
Right.
time.
Sick.
It's good, but it's a great show.
Yeah.
And you watch that, you'll pretty much know everything that's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, because like, you know, like people take their nerddom very seriously, and
They
I
do.
would never dream of insulting a proper Star Wars fan. It's the same thing with like when people are like, "Are you a Swiftie?" And I'm like, I like Taylor Swift and I respect her as a person and an artist, but I can't, like, I don't know the albums front to back.
Yeah.
Like I can't,
Yeah.
like I know the hits, and like that's.
Whatever played on the radio
Yeah.
over and over, I know those.
Yeah, I have nothing against her, but I can't call myself like.
yeah,
I don't be.
I'd agree, because I would consider myself a Swiftie in that I like her.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not one of those people, like I said
fandom
before,
is
like
not-
I'm not one of those people that, wait, somebody said something bad about her, let me track that person down and get them
Yeah.
fired.
Yeah.
Right.
Yo, these parasocial relationships are getting crazy.
It's a little weird.
Wild.
Yeah. Don't do that, people.
Yeah.
I mean, someone did take your handle, Scott.
So true, yeah.
Yeah,
you're-
find that. Yeah. No, I think you're right, and I think it's wrong to, like, you know, you shouldn't tell a person like what type of fan they should be, or like what makes a real fan, what makes a fake fan. Because that's the thing. I've actually had a lot of debates with people. Like, I know there's a friend of mine who he just kind of loves everything Star Wars, including, like, I don't even know if he likes like the sequels or the prequels or the one more than the other, you know? And like for me, it's like, it's not a contest. Like Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. I can't even, that's for me, that's the best, right? And like, and if you ask me why, I can tell you why,
Right.
right? And like, but I remember I even said to him because he likes the prequels, I was like, what about the dialogue though? Like, don't they talk, like they don't talk like humans in episode 2, right? And he was like, yeah, but you know, the story, like he just likes it. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
He's just chill
you know what?
about it.
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never been a Star Wars fan, and you know this since day one. I'm not. But when I went to Disney World and experienced being in
It's a world.
the world of Star Wars, I was more engaged there.
Did you make your own lightsaber?
I don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, so true. So true.
I don't
Never
have
mind.
that kind of money.
Yeah.
Like
It's real.
Like we watched people make them,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we saw droids being made, but I did not make my own.
Right.
Fair
But
enough.
when Darth Vader comes towards you, you're just like, oh, damn. I used to call him Dark Vader for the longest time, and then my
I mean,
husband's
that's
like,
basically the
his
same
name
thing.
is Darth, and I'm like, Dark.
I mean, it's literally the same thing. Like the translation is Dark Father, no? Something like that.
I think I heard that. Is that true? I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
That's why it's like we all knew he was the dad. His name is Vader,
Father.
Father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's from. I remember hearing that in Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's where she mentions it. She is.
I love
his name is
Pitch
literally Darth
Perfect.
Father.
So good.
Such a good movie.
I got to see episode 4 in theaters for the first time recently, with a whole group full of Star Wars fans, and
Did you feel right at home?
it was yes, but it was also like I forgot how good it was, and it felt so like I was like borderline tearing up certain parts in episode 4 just because experiencing
That's like
it.
like you're talking like the original.
Yeah, episode 4 is the first movie that came
First
out in
movie,
70 whatever
the
year.
one I watched.
77, yeah. But watching it with a crowd was so special in a theater. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you seem to like Star Wars, actually.
I do. It was just
She's a lot to say for us.
Yeah,
I think
episode
so.
2 was a lot.
It is. It's something
she's
that
a fan, just not a fan of number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend Clone Wars though. Like again, it's kind of a commitment. It's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're short episodes. Like I think, especially the first season, it's like 20-something minute episodes. You know,
Gotcha.
because it was on TV a half hours with commercials, so it was like 22, 23-minute episodes.
Gotcha.
But if you can get through season 1 and 2, things get pretty serious, especially as Ahsoka gets a little bit older, and then when you get into Bad Batch. In fact, we finished Bad Batch the last season last night. Me and my girlfriend watched it, and it's like I was invested in these characters because these guys, like, oh, it's so dark and so awesome. Like the writing is so. My favorite is Andor, favorite Star Wars, Disney, and Bad Batch is second favorite.
Okay.
It's those are the two things for me that are most
Have
consistently
you seen
well written.
Ahsoka? Like,
Yes,
no.
Ahsoka was fine.
Okay.
There was like 1 or 2 episodes.
Because I think I'd really like her as a character,
She's great.
but I'm hearing like the show is not living up to her.
Yeah, it's that. And it's not just Ahsoka for me. It's kind of everybody in that show. In that, because they come out of the show Rebels. So after you watch Clone Wars, watch all of Rebels. Okay, which Rebels again, season 1 is not as good, but then it gets really good.
Okay.
And they build a really good cast of characters in Rebels by the end, and then all of those characters are featured in this Ahsoka show, but they're missing who they seem to be. Like they're just like, it's like, for me, the first few episodes, one, I feel like they dragged out the story too much. Like not enough is happening episode to episode. There's a lot of stares, and I also don't like that the acting is like everybody's just sort of looking like they're trying to look cool and serious. So they're all just like, did you tell them? Yeah, I found out. Yeah. And it's like that. And it's like, where's your personality though? Like, I know who you guys are. Why are you acting like this?
Right.
You know? And then by like the 4th or 5th episode, I think we kind of see a bit of Ahsoka's personality. I'm like, okay, this is kind of good. It's just, there wasn't enough there.
Is he selling it to you by saying all this?
Well, I had,
I know. I have homework.
I had high hopes for it, but like you'll like Ahsoka when you watch Clone Wars.
Gotcha.
And again, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
The Obi-Wan show is also pretty good.
Yeah.
The Boba Fett show is terrible. You don't need to watch it. Yeah.
Isn't that the Mandalorian?
No, that was Mandalorian was a show, and you meet Boba Fett there, and then they have this separate little The Book of Boba Fett, which was another show.
Oh yes.
You can give that one a miss though if you like.
Okay. Okay, got it.
But I would
Well,
recommend.
You're off the
Priority
hook for
list.
that one.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
But if you're looking for anything to watch, you know what?
So much anime to get through first. but
Well,
yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, if you're looking for something to watch, you want to watch 9 episodes or 9 seasons of a show,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But if you want to get more
Never
into Star
done it
Wars,
all over again.
Clone
Wars is good.
If you want to get
And I really liked Andor. And Andor is not as long a commitment. It's like 1 season, and I think it's like 6 episodes or something.
Okay.
So that's my recommendations.
All right. Will do.
I don't know why I'm giving you these, but
Anyways,
has your boyfriend seen all of the Clone Wars and stuff?
Oh yes.
Okay, so he's all in
seen
it.
Clone Wars. He's watched Mandalorian. He's very in.
He's all in.
Yeah.
Feel like we get along just fine.
Oh, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more segment on the show.
Amazing.
I'm like, let's wrap it up.
Have you seen? Do
A
you
lot
know?
of Star Wars talk.
Do you know what this is?
I think I remember that from when I was very little.
Okay, good. So that means this might that experience might help you.
I don't think I ever actually played it. I think I watched my brother and his friends.
Or maybe there was some osmosis. Is that osmosis where you saw it
I
happen?
don't. Maybe.
Well, let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing this week's edition of the Barrel of Monkeys World Championship.
World Championship.
That was really loud.
Yeah, I've noticed. I think our mics are a little quieter than usual,
Got it.
and that's why I think I even noticed during the ad break. I'm wondering when we listen back if our voices are going to be too quiet because the ad music is too loud. Whatever. Yeah, hopefully you guys could hear it. Okay.
That was a loud monkey.
So
at the end.
so this is a classic game that we
Why is it
that we
the
do.
World Championship?
because we made it the world.
Because this is the most
I wasn't
important
even in the
competition.
qualifiers. How are we?
You know, you're kind of
made
being on
it
the
on the
show
show.
qualifies it. Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. You're ready. You're ready.
Welcome to.
Okay.
So you'll do the demo?
Sure.
Okay, so here's how it works, okay?
It starts. We hand it to you, but you leave it on the table.
Yeah, it's on the table.
Don't touch it until
Okay.
we say go.
I will put 1 minute on the timer.
Go 3, 2,
1,
1.
go.
Go.
You grab the barrel. You pour out the monkeys. You
First off, you take a monkey.
take a monkey. Use that monkey to pick up another monkey. Use that monkey to pick up another monkey. And so on. Ooh,
Oh.
there's lucky. You're trying to pick up as many monkeys as you can.
Don't do what I just did
Okay.
and move them around.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Once the timer runs out, freeze. We'll count the number of monkeys. You're trying to get as many monkeys hooked on here as you can.
Okay.
Okay. We'll count them. This would be what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monkeys. The one in your hand does not count towards your total.
Makes sense.
Okay. That's pretty much how it works. Do you have any?
a minute on the clock.
Do you have any questions?
I don't think so.
You can switch hands if you want to.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I guess yeah.
Some people are like, can I switch hands?
Yeah. How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you ready for this? What do you
know
think?
what? I'm up for the challenge.
Ooh.
right. You should know though that in terms of
way.
challenges in life, this is maybe the most important one you've come to so far.
I'm getting that
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So be ready. There will be consequences to how this happens. So just remember. Yeah, good call. Okay. Let me make sure. Is
I
this?
touch it after you say go, right?
Yes, I will say go. Yes.
You can move it closer to you if you want.
Let me just make sure the.
Fine.
You're fine. We'll be like, don't touch it.
Who did monkeys last?
I did.
You did. Okay, so that means that the monkey thing might be set on the other camera. So let me
Yeah.
just adjust that. Here it is. Yeah, it's on our camera. See? Oh. Okay.
Ready?
All right. Are you ready for this?
I think so.
I think
All right.
you are.
3, 2. Oh wait, I don't even have my timer set.
OMG, Scott.
All right.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Go.
You can use both hands. No worries.
Music is so Regine made this look so much easier than this actually is.
Sorry.
You can do this. There you go. All right. Yep. Finding it in. Take your time. You're doing well.
You can switch your hands, don't forget. Oh no!
Oh! All right,
Ignore
just
those,
keep going.
ignore
Just keep
those.
going. Oh no, the monkey's jumped. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. 25 seconds remaining.
You have lots of time. See?
Okay, there you go.
Just
Good
so much
recovery.
better than The other one, yeah.
Find an opening. 15 seconds.
You're fine. Don't stress. Grab the ones on the floor.
So high stakes.
5. Time.
All
1, 2,
4.
3, 4.
4 monkeys.
Well, how many are on the floor?
3.
Oh, so the
It was you know, how do you feel
You
about
know
your
what? That is my personal best.
Hey, you know what?
exactly.
That's a great way to look at it.
Exactly.
4 monkeys. Should we take a look at the monkey standings and see
Updated it, Scott.
I think didn't we update it last time? We did.
I think so.
Looking at the monkey standings, 4th place puts you. I'm not going to lie to you. It's
4th place or 4 monkeys?
4 monkeys.
Yeah.
It puts you a little bit low in the standings.
That's crazy to me. What?
Yeah.
5, 6.
Yeah. Regine, count the
me, I
time.
was
Oh, sorry. Count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9th place.
9th place. So that's not too bad. You know. I mean, there
It's not last.
And the thing is, there are a lot of people that are sitting in there with you.
There are some people that got 0.
Yeah. So, for example, April's band friends, that band, their representative got 4 monkeys. Who else, Regine?
Caroline.
Caroline Frolic.
Yeah, she got 4. Emerald B.
Ariel Fina. Jenna Rose Fitness. Lauren. AJ Manuel.
Karen.
Dana. So there's a bunch. There's a lot. So
It seems to be the median. It's either 4 or 8 is what people get.
yeah.
Crazy.
So you know it's not too bad.
Getting 8.
Well, you know what
We started at 8.
our
They
top
gotta
score.
practice.
our top score right now, first place, is 12 monkeys.
So all the monkeys.
All the monkeys. And that's what
There's
we.
no way they're not practicing at home.
She's never played it.
It's hard to say. She just locked in.
Lies.
She did.
She trained.
I'm calling lies.
She trained for years leading up to it,
Years.
every day. And the thing is, once we got 2 people who got all the monkeys, so now once person gets to the top of when they get all the monkeys, we have to now take into account like how much time was left, because that's the only way you can
Like how
score
fast
better.
did they do it?
Oh, yeah.
So for example, like Antoinette Targa there, 12 monkeys with 57 seconds, and then Michael Mazarkiewicz
Also 12.
was 12
But he got
monkeys,
it
but he was at like
the-
basically 59 seconds. So like he's second place.
He like
Gotcha.
picked it and we were beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Gotcha.
So that concludes this week's edition of the Barrel of Monkeys World Championship. What a rush.
It was,
know?
yeah.
And yeah, I think you did it was your first time. It was okay. You know.
I can't
What's-
believe those monkeys fell right out of your hand.
Yeah, that was interesting. Tell me about that. How did that happen?
I really don't know.
So when you went to switch your hand,
I think so, yeah.
Why did
you're
you
like,
switch your hand?
"No."
Why did you try to switch your hand?
I think it was like the way some of them were facing.
I think your monkey
see.
was facing like on this. Hang on this side, it was facing this way, and so you couldn't really grab anything.
Right.
I
And
see.
you were trying to move it, so I was like, well, you can switch your hand.
Right. Yeah.
And then they all jumped
And then they
off.
all fell off.
So basically, now that you know of this,
Yeah.
for your next appearance,
Oh yeah.
you'll
I'm gonna
gotta
practice.
train
Absolutely.
hardcore, yeah.
Hardcore.
But what's good is also the way we have it now is like 4 is the lowest you can get.
You can ever get.
So like next time if you get 3, your score will stay
if
at 4.
they all jump off at the end, you will
yeah,
always.
which
have
we've
to-
seen happen. We've seen
Hilarious.
happen.
That's
Yeah.
on their first attempt.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's how we got. That's how we had to end up with 0. Somebody had like a bunch of monkeys, and then they all fell off with like 0 seconds left. Yeah, so you never know; these things can happen. We're about to wrap up the show. Did you have fun?
I had the best time.
We
Thank
had
you guys for doing this. Thank
pretty
you
good
for having
chats,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Sorry it took a year.
I know.
Yeah.
That's on me. That's
Wh-
not even on you guys. I appreciate you like constantly being like, how about now? And I'm like, I still can. You're like, how about now? And I'm like, can we, like, I am free 4 weeks from next Sunday. And you're
That's
like,
right.
boom.
That's how we did it. That's
let's
why I was
do
like-
yeah.
Yeah, I saw your name on the list for a while. I was like, oh, that's far in advance.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
If you got a show coming up or new music coming out, whatever. Yeah, love to have you on.
I'm excited for it.
Thank you.
Where can people find you on social media and stuff?
I am on Instagram and TikTok. My social media presence is abysmal, but I do announce shows and stuff when they're happening. So I'm RAQUEL music with a Q on both Instagram and TikTok because I'm not famous enough for somebody to steal my username
You know,
right out from under me. So on both accounts, it's the same.
Nice.
Amazing.
links in the description.
Yes.
Right now, if you're watching live, the Instagram is there, and we're gonna add all the others after the show.
And if people are interested in your show on Friday,
That is at Wing Night the band because they used to just be called Wing Night, and then people got confused because they thought there would be a Wing special, and it was just 4 guys playing hip hop tunes, so it was a bit of a letdown.
I love
just kidding.
that.
Fair enough.
So yeah, then they had to differentiate and call themselves the band.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So find them because that show's coming up in a week.
Less than.
Less than. It's
Less
this
than.
Friday. Yeah.
There you go. Wing Night the band. Links in the description. Regine, where can people find you?
You all can find me on my YouTube channel for the Pageant Sit Down, where we do the exact same thing, but we sit down with pageant enthusiasts, people who are competing, people who have competed before. If you want to see an interview with Scott, it's there.
I was in a pageant once.
Wow.
Once upon a time.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I don't know. We weren't there to witness it, so we'll have to see
I
you do
won.
it again.
So-
Did you really?
He did. He did.
That's amazing.
So
It
yes.
is.
So watch his episode. Maybe you should put the link in the description, just because.
Oh, the link to the episode? Okay, yeah, that's
Watch
fine.
me didn't know, and Scott just has his own arc on like toddlers and tiaras.
Maybe.
It started young, you know. Started
Google
young.
it. Google it. But yeah, follow subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link is in the description. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at It's Regine Alaina, which is right here. If you're looking for pageant coaching, because it's full force right now in pageant world, you can find me on pageantcoaching.reginealaina. Link in the description has my availability. Scott,
Boom. Yeah.
where can people find you?
You can find me right here.
Jesus Christ.
Where you're watching this very video. YouTube.com/Scott Dion Brown. That's the best place. You get the sit down. You get the gaming, although I haven't had a gaming stream in a few weeks. I'm sorry. It's been so busy. But I'm going to try to do a 2v2 tournament this Friday.
You know Scott's busy when we don't have the sit down and you don't have a live stream.
Yeah, just been busy, guys. There's stuff,
Busy,
okay?
busy.
And it's been evenings busy, so that's the worst part. It's like usually I stream at night. But anyway, that's where you'll get the live streams when I'm back. It's where you get the music. It's where you get the I'm Just Ken cover that just came out. Check it out if you haven't yet. Hit
Pictures
the
are
like
in there.
button. Oh, yeah, we can show it to them, you mean?
Show them, Ken.
I'm Just Ken, baby. There it is. Watch it, like it, comment on it. Boom. You can also follow me if you like on Instagram and X at Scott Dion Brown, on TikTok at Scott Dion Brown Official. You can also follow the show, The Sit Down with SDB on TikTok, The Sit Down with SDB on Instagram, and Sit Down Scott on X. Follow the show.
Yes,
But yeah,
please.
and if you're following me, YouTube is the best place. These other ones are just satellites for the YouTube channel,
And
really.
if you want your own sit down mug, sit down hoodie, sit down t-shirt, support the show, we do have merch. All
Links down below.
listed below.
Check it out. Get yourself the best mug in the biz. Sip like a champion. You know what I mean? Hit the like button on this video if you haven't yet.
Subscribe to this
Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow Raquel, follow Regine, follow me on social media, not in
Only
real life.
socials, yep.
You weirdos. And thank you all.
Scott his TikTok back.
Yeah, exactly. And thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yes.
Raquel, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Happy birthday, Rashawn.
Oh, yes.
Before we go.
Yes. Happy 30th birthday to Rashawn.
Happy birthday.
happy B-Day
Yes.
to you.
Our one mutual friend.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. I met you. I remember we were talking about it. I was like, oh, you know him? Oh, yeah, I know him.
Oh, yeah. My whole life.
Our one mutual friend.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We met where you're going to be playing again very soon.
Oh, Unionville?
Yeah.
Oh, is he going to be there? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But he lives close by.
Maybe I'll see
If
him
you're
there.
in the chats, let us know. Are you gonna be?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I didn't mention it. June 1st, I'm going to be at the Unionville Fest. Is that what it's called?
think so.
Yeah. The Unionville Fest in Unionville, Ontario. It's a great time, and I'll be up there with Garson on drums,
Oh, nice.
Jonathan Cullen on bass. And we're just
Awesome.
going to be playing a bunch of,
Those guys are awesome.
a lot of rock and pop from some of it from the 60s, 70s, 80s,
It's just,
and all the way up to now. We're just kind of grabbing a bunch, but there's a lot of 80s in there.
if you don't want to see Scott live, those two are definitely worth seeing live. Sorry. Scott.
Yeah. You could almost be able to put up with me just to see them because they're really good.
They are good. We should get them back on.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we'll get them on.
It's
Garson's
been
pretty
so
busy, but
long.
I want to get John on too, just to talk about
we've been
acting.
talking about so they're part of a band,
Silver
Silver
Lining.
Lining,
Okay.
and we made an official Silver Lining day on the sit down,
Aw.
and they have not been back since.
They were like, "Sorry, we're
take it
we're
back.
done. We're done with that."
We're taking their day back.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. We'll see you next time. We're gonna let you end the show. You can grab your sit-down mug, and what we'll do is, you know how I started the show, kind of coming out of the camera.
Yeah.
We'll get you to
Going
say
into-
bye to the camera, and you'll just send it at the camera to end it. Okay. And you can say bye to them first, but so
Okay.
we'll say our goodbye. Bye, everybody. See you all next time. Thanks, and Raquel, you can take it away.
Bye.